um, Wow, Paul, I always say, I tell people, I'm glad you had that example about leadership versus management, because I tell people when you said manage things, we manage things, that was powerful because people don't really realize that.
Yeah.
You leadership, you're leading people, you're basically helping them understand who they are by
Yes.
leading to their purpose or their passion in life.
Yeah.
And you're giving them those tools instead of saying, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's like more so it's like, well, how do you feel in this position? Maybe it's not the right one for you. Maybe we need to try another skill set that you might like. See, those are, you ask the questions more so than telling. That's what I feel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know something else, Barbara, what has happened when we look at after the pandemic, before the pandemic, things were not so deliberate. A person wouldn't say, "Hey, I'll leave this job, I'll go somewhere else." But after the pandemic, when people saw that they can do things virtually, it's game on, and people are making those decisions. Well, I'm not coming back to the office, and now we have the hybrid workplaces. And
Yeah.
some companies are saying, if you don't come in, you're going to lose your job. And people are like, fine, no problem. But see, again, it comes down to leadership. Are you willing to lose the talent? Because really, when you lead, you're leading people with talent, and you don't want to lose that talent because it takes so much more to retrain people, and it takes years. And so leadership is really the key. And again, with influence being the most important aspect of that.
Yes. Yeah. And and it's the old saying, which is a good saying. A lot of old sayings I tell people are good sayings. Like, you know what, if you're going to lead, you have to be an example of that. So if I'm going to tell somebody, or well, ask, I'm going to say that I get in trouble when I say tell. When I ask somebody to do something,
Uh-huh.
then I have to be willing to do it too as a leader. If
Very
I'm
true.
not willing to do it, then I have to be an example for that person.
Absolutely. We can look at some good examples of leadership. I want to just share one. And we can look at the recent strikes that were taking place all over the place. The Screen Actors Guild, we have the United Auto Workers, we had Kaiser Permanente, we had John Deere tractors, all kinds. And with those were leadership calls that people made and said, well, we'll let them go on strike. And it was a big mistake because you lose money. I'll give an example. With UAW, when they went on strike in the first 10 days, they lost $5 billion because 150,000 employees went through the work stoppage. Whereas they settled the contract dispute and the worker benefits issue, but it cost them so much money when they could have probably done that in the first couple of weeks or not to go through it at all. I'll give you another example. I'm a former employee of United Parcel Service. I worked there 4 years in college. They saw what was happening. The truck drivers were going to go on strike, and they decided, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to give you what you want. We're going to increase your salary. We're going to actually put air conditioning in those hot trucks.
Oh, I know that was.
That was a big thing. And so they were able to avoid that strike, and the goodwill between the employee and the union and the company is good for several years. And so the leadership made a great decision. They let people know that they really cared and they valued them. And that's what leadership is supposed to be all about.
Yes. Well, Paul, see, King, you said some valuable gold nuggets, like you said, they valued their employees, and they were smart. Like you said, they didn't lose the money that they could have lost if it went the other route, which what the other company, like you said, did, where you said million?
Yeah,
That
5 billion in 10 days.
$1 billion.
5 billion.
That's
That's
a
a lot
lot.
of money. Yeah,
Yes. Just to try to say you want to prove a point.
exactly. Exactly.
I don't, that kind of prove a point. I don't like that because
That's a lot of
that's
money.
expensive. That's expensive proving a point.
And see, the interesting thing about it is that they probably wouldn't, it'd take years to recapture that loss. It'd take
Yes.
years. And part of the issue with the UAW, and the reason why I talk about this is because my father was the president of a local union in North Carolina for 20 years. So I grew up with this. So I know what's taking place, the negotiation, the behind the scenes, but mostly it's respecting the employees. And you know why? Because these companies, UAW and some of the others, are making record profits, but they don't want to share it with employees. That's the gist of what's taking place. And leadership would be smart, say, no, we're making record profits, let's share this with employees who are actually doing all of the work.
Yes. Yes.
And
And
so
then
that,
they make them, if they make them happy and they see that they have value in the company, they're
yeah,
going to work for you. Believe me. I think of where I work at. I've been in the insurance industry for over, I won't tell my age, but that's okay.
no,
I'm proud of it.
don't worry
Like
about
almost 40 years.
it.
Almost 40 years. The company I'm with right now, King, it's been, I'm going on my 25th year in
Oh,
January 2024.
congratulations.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
some people are like, congratulations, wow, you've been there. Others, the youth say, are you crazy? You've been here
Uh-huh.
this long. And I said, you know why? Because they valued me and I valued the company, and I didn't have any problems. Now, did we have issues? Was I upset about some things? Did I like a lot of things that the company did? No. I mean, that's just life, that's what happens. But I stayed there because they did value me in all the leadership that I was under, even the ones that were kind of that I wanted that want to go to another team. So I knew what to
Right.
do too. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, for being there that long, just like how you have, sir, where you have been in certain areas for a long period of time, it wasn't always roses,
Oh, no,
but
not at all.
not at all, not at all. But there was something that they valued you for you to stay on and do what you've been doing.
Absolutely. And one of the things, and first of all, congratulations on your time there,
Thank
because
you.
that takes a lot of commitment, dedication, and also that passion and purpose. But one of the things I like to share with people when it comes to leadership is that, let's say an employee comes to the company,
Mhm.
no one ever tells them that they're a leader too, and they are. We have
Mhm.
managers who work under the leader with the title president, CEO, executive director for a nonprofit. The managers are leaders too. And I'll prove it how they are. First of all, the person in the job they're hired for example, I was hired with UPS and I had to load the trucks, 18-wheel trucks. I was young then, I could do that, right, all day. But I was a leader because I had to let the manager know, well, we're going to be able to complete this job today. We have these thousands
Mhm.
of boxes that we're sending within the state. Almay was the company. Almay does a lot of the perfume and different things like that. But I was
Mhm.
leading, but no one
Mhm.
ever told me. Then the manager is a leader too, because the manager controls the workflow. He's the
Mhm.
go-between between the employee leader and the leader with the title. And so
Yes.
they have to manage that workflow. And so they're all leaders, but no one has told the manager and employees that they are.
Yeah. So it's almost like just this skill that they that's coming out of them that they don't even realize because they've been put in this position where they didn't realize that somewhere down the line I'm managing something here and I got to make sure it's working. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a great leader, the reason why I say it's the subtitle of my book is a three-pronged approach to becoming a leader of influence,
Mhm.
because the three-pronged approach takes into account you have to give that employee leader, that management leader, continuously study leadership.
Mhm.
And then the second step is give them leadership responsibilities. For example, we may put them on a project. They may be making widgets as an example. But you're still giving them that leadership experience. And then you get them into the leadership training, leadership development workshops. And it all has to be a standardized program that the leader with the title, the manager leader, and the employee leader should all take and go through the same training. And what this does, it adds value to the company as a whole. And it gives them a competitive advantage. And it gives them a competitive advantage because most companies don't do this.
Oh, yeah.
And, and if we were to sell the business, as an example, the value of that business would increase as a result of them having most of their staff that has leadership expertise and experience. And the same thing holds true for college students. If they learn leadership at an early age when they apply for a job with a company and they put on there that they had leadership experience, if it was a student body president or a Greek leading a Greek organization, something of that sort, then that will also give them an advantage in the hiring process.
Yes, definitely, definitely. It's funny you said that because I know when I was in high school, like in my senior year, I took some people don't remember it. I think they still have it, where it was like a workforce type of